Hello, loyal viewers. It's me again, the anonymous guy that manages Charlotte's channel. Today, I'm going to tackle into another episode of Looney Logic. Today, I'm going to be talking about kid versus cat. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. In the show, it's technically about it's basically about a battle between good and evil for the fate of the planet. It mainly focuses on the Burger family. Coop, the son, Millie, the daughter, Bert, the father, and then there's Mr. Cat, the family pet. Of course, what people don't realize is that their mundane lives are simple. You take a turn into adventure. In the show, Coop's sister Millie brought home a strange-looking feline and named him Mr. Cat. Unbeknownst to the family, except to Coop, Mr. Cat is, in fact, a sinister extraterrestrial agent sent from the planet Cat Nebula to prepare Earth for his people's invasion. He has built countless contraptions designed for the purpose of making his planet more hospitable for cats, or basically for his own or for Cat's own selfish purposes. And every time, he was thwarted by either Coop or his friends. However, but no matter how many times Coop tries to prove to the world what Cat really is, he always ends up without evidence and looking like a complete laughingstock. Now, let's break down the logic here. The reason why Cat was sent to Earth in the first place was because his planet was on the brink of ecological destruction due to their unwillingness to throw away their waste properly. If Cat's people built waste disposal facilities, incinerators, shredders, garbage compactors, maybe they wouldn't feel the need to have to toss away every single piece of ash that they comes from their stuff. Of course, there's also the fact that but, cats don't really know how to clean themselves up, so I can't really blame them if they are a little bit irresponsible like that. There's also the fact that and then there's Cat himself, or Agent 27B if you want to call him that. He acts under the command of the Cat Commander, the man-childish, tyrannical ruler of Cat Nebula, who pretty much bosses around Cat very harshly and forcibly under the threat of death. At first, Cat's goal was to conquer Earth, but over time, he felt like he's found purpose among the Burger family. While he is still trying to conquer Earth, he has a soft spot for the person who and for Millie, the person who feeds and cares and loves him with all her heart. And that is pretty sweet. It can only take a great deal of compassion to plant a seed at the seed of good inside the darkest of hearts. And but still, Cat could have used used his talents and his powers to do force for good, to do good and make the world better, not just for his people, but also for the people of Earth as well. Instead, he uses it to build ridiculous machines and gadgets and gizmos of odd natures and chaotic purposes. And though he doesn't really have a choice, he knows exactly what the Cat Commander would do with him if he refuses to obey his commands. But there's also of course, there's also the matter of Coop Burtenberger himself. Elf. Now, while he does have to protect humanity from whatever or destruction Cat would inflict to the world, there are some. It's kind of clear to me that Coop is much of a bigger problem to the world than Cat ever is. Sure, he protects humanity, but there's also, but his rivalry with Cat is so deep. It's not. Isn't exactly the friendliest with him. Coop acts like a. Coop displays the behavior similar to that of, okay, yeah, Coop may be a hero in his own right, but he is still, but to me, he's technically an unforgiving sadist who takes pleasure in nothing more than tormenting Cat and treating him worse than the Cat Commander ever did. He doesn't really care about how happy Cat made his family. All that Coop ever cares about is making sure that he doesn't try to do anything evil. And then there's the fact that every time Coop does stop him, he usually does it charging in, yelling like a maniac, rather than sitting still and waiting for a plan. And every time Cat builds something, he always jumps to bizarre speculations that sound seriously outrageous. But Coop, yes, and it always leads to serious injury. Maybe if Coop should have demonstrated a bit more patience. If Coop had demonstrated more patience and listened further, maybe he could come up with a more competent plan that, while he always does succeed against Cat, he could try to do it without getting seriously injured or scratched up. But back to the matter at hand. Coop's behaviorisms toward Cat just doesn't really make him the traditional heroic type. It just makes him more of a villain than Cat ever is. And the perception of a hero is usually those who see them as a menace. The Cat's people saw Coop as a menace because of him always stopping Cat's intentions to prepare the planet for his people's arrival. And the worst part is, they are kind of right. Rather than just bullying Cat and treating him like garbage, Coop would have simply tried to redeem him and set him on a better path, show him a great deal of compassion and care towards someone who's already been mistreated unmercifully by his own superior and by his boss. Us. Instead, Coop decides to take pleasure in Cat's misery. Also, there is the fact that Coop wants to expose Cat for who he truly is. He thinks that proving to the world that he was right all along about Cat would make everything better, but let's just look at the facts here. Cat provided a lot of the Burtenberger family. He provided a lot of love towards Cat and cared for him with all their heart and soul. So even if Coop does succeed in gathering evidence of Cat's true nature as an evil alien, it wouldn't really change a lot. If Cat were exposed, he would be carted away by the U.S. government and either locked away forever in a top secret military facility, or dissected on to learn what kind of power he has. And Coop believes he would get a lot of praise and love for revealing Cat as an evil alien. But honestly, even if Cat was exposed, Coop would still be hated and berated by people for not acknowledging that despite the fact that Cat was in fact an extraterrestrial monster trying to destroy us all, he is still just a cat who should be cared for and loved and nurtured. The outcome would be either sick. In other words, the outcome of such a potential success would be the same in public perception. Not to mention, also, if Cat failed his mission, the Cat commander would have. If Cat failed his mission by being captured, the Cat commander would have to send another agent down to finish it for him. That is, if the military doesn't decide to fire a massive nuclear strike onto Cat Nebula first. There's also the sure. While I understand it is necessary to protect humanity from evil, we probably have to consider the fact that sometimes everyone deserves a second chance at being a better person. Cat would be off, and Cat would, and there's no doubt Cat would be off for the second chance to be better if the family who fed him, cared for him, and sometimes much to his chagrin, dressed him up in pretty clothes. Also put him through the process of rehabilitation and showed him that there are other means and methods of helping his planet, rather than just simply conquering another planet. it. Not everyone deserve. Just because people are monsters doesn't mean they deserve to be treated like them. Compassion, virtue, and empathy towards those kinds of people are the necessary traits we need in order to provide to them so that they could learn to be better people and become a part of society. Anyway, that's all I have to say. For this episode, be sure to comment, like, and or subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace!